Alright, boys and girls, we're gonna do another what if, but I technically done this what if already, but I only made a few parts, so instead of making a few parts, I'll just make it all in one go. So, here we go. What if Krillin was the main character in Dragon Ball Z? Now, we're gonna have to change, as always, with any what if, we're gonna have to change some events and play just to make this more feasible and more realistic. So, before we get started, I'm not gonna say this at the end of the video for everyone that's here. Consider subbing if you really fucks with this shit at the end of the video. Thank you very much. Plus, if you want to come back and watch this bitch later, like the whole and just go through your liked videos, and I'm right here. Right here. Alright, so let's get it. Now, this story is not 100% mine. If any of y'all know what Supersonic Warrior is, that's where I got the base premise of the idea. I just gotta say this. So, in personal opinion, I'm pretty sure this is gonna be the most accurate story that we're gonna get for what if other characters were the main characters besides, the typical what ifs and just somehow certain people do certain things. All right. So, with this being said, let's get on to the video. So, this is how it's gonna be for your boy Krillin, right? Your boy Krillin is gonna be different in canon, right? We're gonna say his potential is slightly higher, not by like a grand mile, like some like Gohan potential or anything, right? It's just gonna be, significantly more. Where it's like as they're growing up in Dragon Ball and stuff, right? Goku's always saying to Krillin, if you put how does Goku sound? But just imagine Kid Goku saying this. But he's like, if you put in a lot more effort when you're training and stuff, hell, you might even be my equal, or well shit, better that. You might be able to even keep up with me, if not surpass me. And then Krillin will be like, no, Goku, I could never do that. Not in the sense of just he don't want to surpass Goku on some Trunks Vegeta flow. It's just the fact that Goku is just so overwhelmingly strong that he's just like, I don't really think I'm gonna be able to bridge the gap. Okay, so Dragon Ball for the most part basically continues as per usual. Okay, so it's not like any major event changes besides slight things that will come to fruition later. For example, when Krillin dies, he realized if he was a good bit deal stronger, this wouldn't have happened. So throughout the years, instead of training more casually, he puts in a little more effort, and he tries to hustle a little harder. Okay, since he died, he asked Master Roshi to help him learn some more techniques and how to perfect some other techniques and stuff like this, right? So that's gonna come into fruition a lot sooner. Also, Krillin just does that. Then we're gonna have where Krillin, instead of giving up when he was fighting Piccolo in Dragon Ball, which you would have to just watch the match, we're gonna say that Krillin actually fights back and puts some more work in, right? And we're gonna say he develops not the Kenzai, but we could just say he develops like the scatter blast a lot sooner, right? And instead of Piccolo, not being scathed from this, we're gonna say that it actually does some damage, which will not be enough for him to actually defeat Piccolo. Because when I watched the match or whatever, I honestly think Krillin could have had the chance to beat him, but like he just gave up too soon. Like, don't get me wrong, I know there was a dramatic gap in power level, but on the top of the end coin though, he was like, yeah, Goku can beat him. So it was kind of like that big factor. And their rivalry throughout Dragon Ball is going to be more solidified because of the fact is Krillin wasn't as far off from Goku. They actually stayed a little more equal. We're not making Goku weaker, we're just making Krillin stronger overall. So it's like anytime there was a major conflict, Krillin just barely was lacking instead of lacking by a good percentage. Even when it comes to like Ten Shinhan, Krillin was like, damn, I don't know if I'll be able to keep up with them or whatever, but I digress. Krillin was able to do a little more damage to Piccolo. This also made the fight when him and Piccolo, duked it out go a lot more smoother. So instead of everyone being damaged or something to this effect, that didn't really need to happen. Nothing major, but this will come back to play when we get into the later sagas. So Now, with this being said, let's go ahead and skip on to Dragon Ball Z, which everyone pretty much knows of. So now we're around that Dragon Ball Z point in time, and it's during this 5 years, Krillin has been, instead of just kind of Kool-Aiding it, he's been actually hustling and training, because when he was fighting Piccolo, he did give up, but he saw the gap in power. So he's spending all this time training, like training in the forest, working on his ki control. And so he's like, all right, let me see here. Goku is brute strength. Not really. Now, don't get me wrong. Goku's not stupid, but he's saying like Goku's kind of like brute strength. So what if he works on like his ki control? Yeah. What if he works on his ki control and starts developing special techniques and stuff to where, he's able to, actually fight back and, do some shit. So like when he's fighting against stronger opponents, he has specialized moves that are able to compensate for his, lack of weakness or his lack of raw power or whatever, right? So with this being said, we're not gonna boost Krillin up by too much, but if I remember correctly, somewhere around the 500 is where Piccolo and Goku was. So we're gonna say I don't want to use power levels, but I have to nudge Krillin up a bit because of how they did it in the Super Sonic Warrior Game Boy Advance game. It wasn't really placed for why he was that strong. So this is what I'm doing. I'm filling in that gap of this is why he would be said strong. Okay. So your boy Krillin would be around that 400 instead of being 200, okay? So it'd be around that 400-ish mark, all right? Also with his ki control and some other techniques. So take that as you may. Now, Piccolo and Goku, Gohan gets kidnapped and stuff, but instead of, Krillin not attempting to help, he actually, helps. And instead of getting knocked through the house or whatever, Krillin's able to weave it, and then like he goes for the tail, but we'll just say Radish reacts in time and just kicks him on the leg. Goku does see this, but he gets knocked down. Krillin doesn't decide to come help due to some factors. He's like, y'all two are stronger, I'll let y'all do it. Now the fight plays out as per usual. Gohan hits him with the "Don't touch my daddy" flow. Krillin makes it in time, and then Goku dies. This will be another pivotal change. When Goku dies, Krillin is in an immense amount of shock. He's just like, because one of the things was Goku's invincible, Goku's never gonna die, and then it happened. Goku died, so it kind of changed his whole, like, oh shit, this nigga might not always be here. And this goes back into what I was saying, how they were always close. And then Goku was like, Krillin, for keep the peace while I'm gone, or some shit to that effect. And that hit him. His best friend, the dude he's been knowing his whole life. So boom. Now we're gonna get into that training arc, right? Everybody's training. Once again, they're still training as per usual, but Krillin's putting a lot more effort. As in Kami, is there any other techniques he can learn? Is there any other things he could do, and this and that, and this and that, right? Boom. All right, now we're gonna skip over and go straight to the Saiyan saga. Not much is gonna change, but there will be a considerable change. All right. So, Yamcha, we still gotta get these niggas to die on the low. Let me see here. Let me think. All right, so I got a better way for everyone to die. So this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna have it to where most people in canon die the same way, but for different reasons. All right. When Piccolo tried to take Gohan, Krillin did put up a fight, but it wasn't enough. But Piccolo did realize how strong humans have the potential to be, and since Gohan's half human, half Saiyan, he put some extra work into it. So we're gonna say everyone's a little bit more stronger. So now what ended up happening is when the Cyberman pulls up or whatever, Krillin just says, nah, F this. And he starts, proceeding to go attack them when Yamcha, tags in too. So everybody tags in as per usual. They basically, take down the Cybermen pretty quick. Nappa steps up and Vegeta's just being Vegeta. I'm the prince of all non-existing Saiyans. So when it comes to them fighting Nappa, all of these niggas are trying to, gang up on Nappa. Chaozu does, the little self-destruct move. It doesn't work. He dies. Tien gets mad and does the same thing, but his arm didn't get cut off because right before it did get cut off, Krillin was able to come through and shoot a blast right where it would have hit, basically blasting Tien out of the way. Now, Tien floats up, does the tri-beam, and then dies because of overexertion. And then as he's falling down, he's just like, God damn. Krillin gets an idea. And then we're like, all right, here we go. He basically tells everyone the plan and what he plans to do, but it's going to be pretty difficult. So gets his energy ready, and he charges a ki blast up and shoots Nappa to get Nappa to come chase him, right? And what he does, so Vegeta doesn't see this, just in case he needs to use this tactic with Vegeta, is he starts shooting ki blasts everywhere because he knows they can't sense energy and shit, right? Well, we'll just say because of the scouter and what Boma did with Raditz dude, right? So he starts shooting many tiny ki blasts everywhere, and everyone else is helping to create smoke. But the only thing is Nappa and Krillin, they're up in the sky just a little bit more, and then Krillin's like, gotcha. Solar flare or Kaioken. It's something like that. I wish I knew the actual name. And then boom, blinded. My eyes. So Brody's out of commission. He can't see, right? And then they're like, no! And so everybody start ganging up on this nigga. Krillin hit him with something. Piccolo hits him with something. Gohan, instead of being scared this time around, Piccolo actually put a little more time and patience with it. He's like, how do these humans train? Due to the simple fact that he was gonna be a little more patient just because he saw how close Krillin was to his strength. So Gohan doesn't get angry and actually hits him, but it's not enough. He recovers the time and his eyesight comes back and he's angry. So he just starts beating up on everybody. Gohan gets smacked back, Piccolo gets smacked back. Basically everyone's getting pretty much folded around this point in time, all right? And then Yamcha's like, Krillin. And he's like, yeah, I've been seeing you train by yourself throughout those years throughout that time that we were training and stuff. And even a couple years prior to that, after we defeated Piccolo. Let me guess, you got some special move you've been saving to impress all the girls or something, however Yamcha says things, right? And he's like, yeah, I got a couple up my sleeve. So let me get this straight. If I can hold him still long enough, and no, he doesn't say that. He says if I can stall him long enough, do you think it'll be enough to kill him? Yeah. Just when I give you the signal, you have to get out of the way though, because this move's pretty hard and I haven't really mastered it yet. And Yamcha's like, all right, bet. And then so what they do is they tell Piccolo and Gohan to like shoot at a distance while Yamcha fights Nappa while Krillin charges up his move. And we're gonna also say that Piccolo realized what was going on, and then he was like, wait, we gotta destroy the scouters. So they make it seem like a whole bunch of random blasts while the smoke is about to fully clear off. They shoot like a couple of random blasters to destroy the scouters and stuff. Okay? Let's just say after the fact that Frieza learned about the Dragon Balls. So yeah. And now Krillin's sitting there just charging up his one attack, putting a whole bunch of energy into it. He's just like concentrating. And basically imagine him just doing it on one hand, nothing too special, but he's putting a shitload of energy into it and a whole bunch of power, just cocking this arm back. It's almost like he's doing like a makeshift version of the Spirit Bomb. And he's just gathering as much energy as possible. And since Piccolo and Gohan aren't doing much, they actually just, help him. They give him a little bit of energy and they, pretty much go back to, shooting ki blast from his distance. While Yamcha is putting up the fight of his life. All right, you hear me? He beat, good hands. Ooh, my kidney. So basically, Yamcha put in, you hear wolf fist. He was gonna do the spirit ball, but he couldn't do it. But also, this combination move is like actually a weird little combo of inspiration from Yamcha due to the way he's trying to make it. But instead of that, he's gonna make it to where it's one solid big blast. So while this is happening, they're talk telepathically because I'm pretty sure they could do that of some kind, even if they use Piccolo as a proxy. And then this happens, and then you know, Krillin's like, all right, Yamcha, get out of the way. He grabs, he's like, and then Nappa's like, huh? And then before Nappa's able to, shit, my bad, peeps. I don't know where. My mental just died for a second there. Okay. Krillin tells Yamcha to get ready. He's about to launch the attack. And they can also sense Krillin's power has increased dramatically. He's like, once I do this move, I won't be able to do anything for a while. And everybody was like, all right, bet. So he does the move, and then he's like, here we go. And he shoots it. But Yamcha says, a real nigga does real things. You heard me? And then he grabs Nappa with everything he got, and he like inflates his power level as high as it can go. Even though this is not gonna do much, but it will be just enough to hold him still. And he's like, "What are you doing, Bug? Just accept your fate." Or is it the fact that fear is drawing you to madness? And like he's just hitting. Nappa's just. But while he's distracted, all the smoke clears from their POV, basically, like because Gohan Piccolo were continuously shooting ki blast, and then Krillin says, we just gotta make up a name, so we'll just say if it's Spirit Bomb Thinky, we'll just say how about this? I'll just let y'all decide what the name is, but we'll just call it condensed focus. He's like, new technique, condensed focus wave. And then just as he's saying all this, you just see like a giant blast gets like propped up and then just and then he's saying as loud as he can, Yamcha, get out of the way. And then Yamcha, goodbye, Boma. This one's for you. Goku, you better get hurt soon. And then Yamcha's dead. Okay. Nappa is severely damaged because of how strong and how potent this blast is. Now, if you're thinking, oh, this is too much, this is too much. We also was amping up Krillin throughout this whole point of time, okay? On top of the fact is when they do special moves, it increases their overall power level. On top of the simple fact is it took him a while to charge the move as of right now. So when he did nothing but spirit control, if y'all are caught up to date with the manga and stuff, we know how strong, your boy is. Like we know how strong Vegeta is, all right? And so it wouldn't be too far of a stretch if Krillin spent multiple years of perfecting ki blasts and ki techniques, that this would be plausible. And so with this being said, they all basically finish off Nappa fairly soon. And then Krillin charges up a Kamehameha, and he's like, here we go. I will not let you destroy my planet. Or something to that effect. And then boom, goodbye. You get hit with the boom bob beepity boop. And he's out of commission. He gets finished with a Kamehameha. Now the real question is what the hell they're about to do with Vegeta. Krillin is out of commission for what? He can't move. He's not, tired per se. He's just using an incessant amount of ki, especially finishing off Nappa with a Kamehameha. And he also, as he's sitting there, he realizes something. Yamcha sacrificed himself. We took down one, but now we got an even stronger opponent. And Vegeta's like, well, I guess they're worthless. Vegeta steps onto the playing field. Gohan, Piccolo looks at Krillin, knowing what their drawbacks was, and they're like, well, he basically looks at Gohan, go help Krillin. I'll hold Vegeta off. But then Gohan, but Mr. Piccolo, Gohan's a little more, he got a little more grit. Nothing too fancy, but he got a little more grit. And he's like, but Mr. Piccolo, what are you planning to do? We just gotta hold him off until Goku gets here. Mm-hmm. And so Piccolo goes and does the best he can. And shit you not, bro, he's throwing out every trick in the book of my Cinco Poco. I couldn't even say it right. And he's just throwing out everything he's got, and Vegeta's just scoffing, weakling, and just starts beating on him, just maliciously, just and just Piccolo's getting his shit wrecked, okay? Now, the real interesting point in turn is like right before Piccolo dies and go on to watching all of this and is getting angrier and angrier and angrier, okay? And angrier is right before Vegeta says, all right, enough playtime. He like grabs Piccolo and just sticks his hand right through Piccolo's chest. But he doesn't go all the way. And then he shoots a ki blast, exploding Piccolo. But right before he does it, he says, if you kill me, the Dragon Balls won't work. And then Vegeta's like, huh? And then boom. He's like, God damn it. That Namekian took me for a fool. He looks over and he's like, wait a minute. What is this energy he feels? He doesn't know how to sense energy, but he does know that there's someone charging him some really strong power. It's Gohan. So this is gonna make Gohan did more physical training and more real training with Piccolo than he did originally in canon. So Gohan's gonna have a rage boost a lot longer on top of being stronger. Not enough to contend with, Vegeta 18. I don't really know how far of a multiplier he is, but we can say that he just starts bumping up. Like, he's just going crazy. He starts hitting that around that, like, I guess since it's going to be a rage boost for a few seconds, he's going to hit around that 16 mark ever so briefly. So he charges at Vegeta. I am sick of you killing all my friends. Boom. Vegeta's like, wait, what? And he starts, taking some serious blows, right? And Vegeta's actually caught off guard. No, this kid can't be the legendary Super Saiyan. And yeah, that happened for a good few minutes maybe, or a few seconds. And then, what's it called? Gohan basically starts pattering down lower and lower and gets smacked out. And Vegeta starts beating on this kid something devious, okay? Now we get back to, now we're pretty much in the scene of everything that happened into canon, just with some slight difference. Now there's another difference. Krillin, by this point in time, is able to get back up. And Krillin looks up and he's like, looks like you Earthlings still got some fighting. I thought y'all didn't have no backbone. Krillin is just furious and mad, but he knows he's not strong enough. But that don't mean shit. Krillin takes his stance similar to Goku. He takes his stance and says, let's do this. And then boom, 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 they fight. They just charge at each other. So what Krillin's trying to do is, one, he's trying to stall until Goku can get here. And he's also fighting Vegeta the best he can by using, martial arts technique, tactics, and just trying to, outsmart him. Using the after image and using some other stuff. Now, remember how I told y'all that when they were fighting Nappa, Vegeta didn't get to see the solar flare. So what Krillin does is he gets Vegeta to follow him, hit him with a solar flare. While he's distracted, he shoots a really strong Kamehameha at him, and then flies off with a Gohan, basically trying to stall. And what they end up doing is they end up going to that canyon that Goku and Vegeta fought in canon, as they're waiting for Goku to get here. So they end up hiding off while, Gohan's pretty much beaten to a battered and bruised. And while they're waiting, Vegeta is able to pick up on where they went just because he saw where they were headed. So he followed pursuits. And then Vegeta's like, all right, I should have known better that y'all try some underhanded tactic, blah, 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 this, and that. Humans are trash. And during all this time, Krillin has a whole bunch of after images keeping Vegeta distracted. So we're going to say all of these stall tactics that were in place were long enough for Goku to pull up. Goku pulls up, spreads the sense of being love around to Gohan and Krillin. They come back to somewhat full strength. And then now we would have the fight in canon happen as per usual. Except Krillin would be, well, one, he would, cut his tail off. Two, when Yajirobe comes to the scene or whatever, I think Krillin's just gonna like look at this nigga and just not say nothing. And then we're gonna have the Great Ape transformation. When the Spear Bomb happens, we're gonna say that Krillin has an after image where he was originally, and when he says throw the thing, Krillin acts like he's throwing it, but it's only the after image. Vegeta jumps, everyone's confused until Krillin comes up from behind Vegeta and then throws it like kind of almost at point blank range. And it does what it does in canon, but it might do a little more damage, so Vegeta might get a slight better Zenkai, just a little bit. And then everything else happens. Krillin doesn't kill Vegeta just because of Goku. Now we're going to go ahead and get to the Frieza saga, which we will also have to change another event. Everything plays into part in canon until we get to around the Guinea Force. But before we get to the Guinea Force, we also have to say one thing. Frieza only has one transformation in this canon. So bear with that. It'll make sense momentarily. I'm sorry, for some reason my nose is stuffed. Please bear with that. All right. When they're fighting the Guinea Force, Krillin got his potential unlocked, okay? And Gohan did too. But we're going to add some variables to this. We're going to say when full humans get their potential unlocked, it actually changes their, it changes them in a weird way. It can have a really weird reaction. So we're going to have to change that. The reason I said full humans is because if I did this shit for Gohan would be a freak of nature, especially at this point in time in his development. So, Krillin is passively getting a lot stronger than he really should be getting. Like, his power level is actually increasing, and it's opening up a lot more doors of new realms of powerful. So when it's Vegeta, Gohan, and Krillin against the Ginyu Force, instead of them being all hopeless, they put up a fight like it's war. So instead of them just waiting, Krillin immediately takes this chance, does a scatter Kamehameha. Let's just say, nah. So he does a scatter Kamehameha, and then Vegeta takes note of this, and he's like, damn, these Earthlings got all these techniques. And he's like, huh? You didn't even aim it at no one. So it looks like he aimed at Vegeta, but then at the last second, he scatters it. And then it looks like it's about to hit everyone else, but what he does is he aims for the weakest one. He kills Guldo off rip, like before they even decide who is fighting. And he tells Vegeta and Gohan, let's go. And then they all fly up or whatever. It's like, wait, what's the plan? Oh, God, no, not that technique. Solar flare. And we're just going to say Captain Ginyu already dipped, all right? So what ended up happening is the solar flare hits, and then everyone else is blinded. And then Vegeta's like, are you going to do that move you did on Nappa? He said, no, I got something even better. I was actually going to use this on you, but I didn't think it would work. Kazenzai desk. Aims it at who's ever the strongest. And I think Raccoon was the strongest. I know Berta and Jace were, perceptible or pretty close, but for the sake of this, he aims at a Raccoon and boom, Raccoon's dead. Then he looks at Jadis and Burst because they're about to recover, right? So him and Vegeta start tag teaming. They just start beating on these dudes, something devious. But what ends up happening is I'll say all three of them go up to Berta with the swiftness because he's so fast and they didn't want to have to deal with that, right? And so they started beating up on him, and they hit him with a combination move, takes him out of the equation. And then after images of Gohan and Krillin are right in front of Jace, and when Jace's eyes come back, he just starts punching the air, punching the air, punching the air. And then Vegeta does what he did in Canon to Recoome a lot differently. He goes in for all these, like, you know, furious combos and combination moves, and then hits him off. And then, but you know, Jace is able to survive this, but there's one real big problem. All he hears before he died: condensed explosion wave. He just sees a hand in his face, and next, he's dead. And then everyone's like down on the ground, tired, battered, and bruised. Oh God, we really did it. We really did it. Oh, thank you, baby Jesus. Now, take to note, Vegeta won't get nearly as much of his Zenkai since he didn't take nearly as much damage. So, this is where it really gets interesting. Captain Ginyu does come back, but by this point in time, Goku's here. And we're going to say that everybody together fucks Captain Ginyu up. Even if he did try to do the body change, Krillin would be so perceptive to stuff like this now that he would see it coming, throw a frog, kill the frog, and then get rid of Captain Gideon. Now, Frieza pulls up, but before Frieza pulls up, they are able to make the wish to bring Piccolo back, bring Piccolo to Namek. And yeah, so now we would begin the fatal fight of everybody's life. Vegeta, you know, tries to put up a fight against Frieza. Nowhere near. Vegeta eventually gets, you know, beat on something devious. And then while they're trying to figure out what the fuck they're about to do, they think, wait, Goku, do you got any techniques? And he's like, yeah, well, no, they're not going to be like, Goku, do you got any techniques? They're going to be like, hey, we can use the Spirit Bomb, man. Goku's like, yeah, the Spirit Bomb. I'm a smooth dude. And so he starts charging the Spirit Bomb up while everyone else starts going at Frieza, trying to like do something, helping out Vegeta and shit, right? And everybody's fighting for their dear life. Everybody's fighting for their dear life, like praying on some type of shit, you hear me? And it doesn't work. They start getting beat down. Frieza says, I'm not playing these games. Y'all niggas are about to die, about to blow up this whole planet. Fuck all you little niggas. And then it happens. When Frieza comes to, realize he sees a Spirit Bomb. The Spirit Bomb does a good bit of damage like it did to Final Form Frieza. So what we're doing is, instead of Frieza being Final Form, we're just going to make his first form slightly stronger than it was in canon, okay? And so he's going to be the same, but it's just he's in his final form and all the events are almost playing similar. Just without, you know, Dende healing everybody and all of this other stuff happening, okay? So we get to the, you know, the big explosion and then boom. Because these dudes went from getting the Dragon Balls to having to deal, you know, with Captain Ginyu and stuff like that. But we're just going to say they got it. We're not going to worry about some of these minor details, all right? Spirit Bomb hits. Everyone's like, yep, we're good. We made it. We did it. And then Frieza's like, JK, still alive. And then one shot's Piccolo. Looks at Krillin. Because Krillin was actually putting in some work and really hitting. He said, oh yeah, I'm going to enjoy this something special. Pulls Krillin up with the swiftness. Krillin's like, oh, no. No. And then, boost. And then, Goku in the background. And then, like, he can see this power. He's like, Kakarot. This is it. This is the... But before he could even realize it, Frieza blasts him into a smithereens. So he leaves Gohan. And it leaves Piccolo. So Gohan's got to get Piccolo. So everything right now is similar in the order of how people died, just slightly changed. Now, during the transformation, though, this would be a lot more heat if it was like animated or something, right? Because it would carry a lot more weight. You know what I'm saying? It would be more emotional because of the fact is Krillin, my best friend. He was always there with me. He was always nice to me. We would train together. But why? Why wasn't I strong enough? Why? 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 And like, but it's all happening as he's convulsing, and this is all internal. And then he's like, freeze! I won't let you get away with this. And then boom, Super Saiyan. Now, power level wise, while it's still somewhat relevant, and when I did calculate it, which I could be completely off, but I think I should be right somewhere around here. First form Frieza is not comparable to Goku. If Goku did a Kaioken times 20, that would be enough to hold off for first form Frieza by the time he gets to Namek. Since they didn't have to get no Zenkais or anything like that. On top of him getting the Super Saiyan transformation, it would either be slightly above Frieza or slightly lower than Frieza, right? But on top of all the damage Frieza has taken, on top of the Spirit Bomb, I think we should even out to where he has some type of, overwhelming lead on top of him using the transformation and also getting the hang of it pretty fast, most likely. Okay? So that happens, Krillin get revived. Now, this is where things get a little dicey. We get into the Android saga. Okay. So everybody, they doing their thing. They living like Larry. For all you future Trunks fans, he's not coming in on this what if. He won't be needed. Everybody trained like per usual, right? Some people training harder than others, like Yamcha. He's not really training. And Piccolo's actually going to force Gohan to keep up with his training. And Goku's actually going to agree with this. Like, if he doesn't keep up with this training, this might be a problem. Don't worry. I'm not going to make Gohan into a warrior. Like, that's not justified. But he's got to be a wee bit stronger. So they're going to keep up with their training passively. Because we're going to change it to where we say that Krillin jumped in the way when Frieza was aiming his blast and it almost hit Gohan, okay? And so this is also gonna make it to where, he needs to be a little stronger. He can do both, goddammit. But there's not gonna be much point. And Goku doesn't really stand back to Chi-Chi, so this will take Chi-Chi back a bit. And she's actually gonna respect Goku for once. But he's gonna be like, nah, B. Like, we need him to be strong. He might have some uncanny potential. On top of when I was talking about your potential being unlocked, Krillin is putting up some good training and keeping up with it. He's trying to catch up to Goku, knowing damn well he won't have much. And when he did die, he did train with Kikan, but he was more focused on some other stuff. So he didn't learn Kaioken or the Spirit Bomb, but don't worry, it's gonna be good. And so he's like, training really, really, really hard while everyone else is training pretty passively. Then the androids attack, but instead of the 18 and 17, we got Dr. Jadro and, these androids and shit, right? And they pull up. Goku and everybody, gang and all of us, they all try to, pull up and fight themselves. But what happens is Goku's actually winning, then he stops losing, and he gets the heart virus. And Krillin pulls up, makes sure, helps with the fight. And then he sees Goku, and Goku's like, starts coughing up blood. I don't know what's happening. And Krillin's like, no, Goku, no. And then he has that deep sinking pit in his stomach that's happened to him a handful of times. The first time right before he died, when Goku died originally, and when he died later on in the story. And Krillin's just like, he's just in that awe moment, just where he's just feeling all these mix of emotions of how Goku always came to save the day, but he's about to die of natural causes. And then right before Goku fully dies, he just looks at Krillin and says, protect the Earth for me, buddy. And then Goku passes on. Krillin is livid. He looks at Dr. Gero and in 19 and says, I am done playing nice. I am sick of y'all trying to kill us. So he powers up and just boom, heads over. Boom, whoop. Weave. He's weaving all these niggas' punches and kicks. And we're going to say he's fighting 19. He puts up a 19 and just starts beating on 19 something senseless. And everyone else is surprised by this. Like, damn, they didn't know Krillin was so strong. And he started, like, you know, going in. Like, this would be one of those highlight moments. He, good hands, jumps around. And on 19, leapfrogs up above him and start hitting him with a combination kicks. Just, and then he's like, die. And so he starts shooting like some heavy hitter blasts and stuff, but 19's able to get out of the wing time, tries to absorb his energy, and he's like, I don't think so. He makes some small mini Kenzais or destructos disc, and like he basically cuts this dude's hands off and just finish him off with like a really strong condensed double ponded ki blast, and he's like, die, boom. While this point in time, this fight dragged on for a little bit. We're going to say that Android Jiro used this chance to escape. So everybody in the gang just said, all right, Sugu, gang. And then they roll up and pull up. You know, they try to pull up and shit. They pull up to the Dr. Jiro's lab. Let's say they were just able to follow him or figure out where the Jiro's lab's at or whatever. And they basically pull up, and then everybody tries to break the door down. Vegeta comes through, breaks the door down with a big bang attack or something. And then all they literally come in to see is Dr. Joro getting fucked up by his two androids. The androids pull up, and we're gonna basically say everybody gets beat up except Krillin. Krillin's the last one, and then they're like, what are y'all planning to do? Why don't y'all kill us? And he's like, there would really be no point into that. And then be like, all right, bet. And let's just say that, we'll say that for a second. So they'd be like, yeah, Goku's already dead, so there's really no point of us even killing y'all. We're just gonna live our life the way we want to live. And he said, all right, bet. And then Android 18 is like, nah. She looks at Krillin. What if we decide to kill all y'all right now? Krillin's like, well, he takes up like a really cool stance. And he's like, well, shit, I'll just have to stop you. You really think you can? Your wannabe blonde friend over there couldn't even beat me. What makes you think you can? So Krillin throws some good hands on Android 18 for a little bit. He's not able to fully beat her or even come close, but he's able to hold his own. And then Android 18's like, I'm tired anyways. They're androids, so take that as you will. She's like, I'm tired anyways. I don't even feel like fighting. And then Android 17's like, really, sis? And she's like, yeah. Oh, yeah, one more thing. And she basically speeds blitz Krillin, gives him a kiss like per usual, and then they fly off. And Krillin's like, oh, God, I don't know how to survive that. And when they got beat, they got just beat. Like, nobody, like, took severe damage, all right? So Krillin pulls out some senzu beans, give it to everybody. And Vegeta's like, wait, what? You let them escape? Oh, please. Or we could just say he came in later of the fact. And then Krillin's like, y'all need to go ahead and go before he gets here. And then Vegeta's like, wait, where are the androids? I'm going to show them. And Krillin's like, no, we don't need to. They didn't even kill any of us. Blah, blah, blah. And Vegeta's like, if you don't get out of my way, so my non-existent God, help me. And Krillin's like, no, let them go. They could have killed us and they did it. I don't think these androids are nearly as evil as we're made out to believe. And everybody's like, not everybody, but Vegeta's like, all right, little nigga, I'm about to kill you and then go kill those androids. So him and Vegeta have a scuffle. And basically, we could just say that it comes out to like a draw, stalemate kind of like thing where Vegeta's like, damn, oh shit, I didn't know Earthlings could be that strong. And he's like, Vegeta, stop. And then when the second they say this, everyone feels this immense amount of ki. And everyone's like, shit, what's going on now? And what ended up happening was Cell came through and he said, I'm a smooth dude. And he basically absorbed these motherfuckers. All right. And he pulled up on the heroes. And he was like, damn, y'all niggas pretty weak. And Vegeta's like, finally, someone I can test my heat. Everybody get one shot at it again. The Cell games happened a lot sooner than they did in Ken. Everyone is panicking. Like, damn, what the fuck we really about to do? We fucked. Why did Goku have to die is what Krillin's saying to himself. Like, god damn, just right before the Cell games. Where's my nigga Goku? And then he's like, I'm right here, buddy. Him? Huh? And Goku's like, yeah, I can visit Earth for one day, so we chilling. We real good. So what happened is he tell everybody about the room, a spirit of time. Vegeta goes in by himself. Piccolo and Gohan going together because Krillin and Goku gotta go in there. And Goku says, listen, I gotta teach you some things. And Krillin's like, say less. So what ended up happening, they do a shitload of training within that year. And they're talking and all sorts of shit. And it would be really touching because they're having all these reminiscing moments of like different adventures they went on and different things they had to fight and all sorts of stuff, right? And all like their old days of training with Master Roshi and all sorts of shit. And at the end of all of this, right, what ended up happening is they reenact like their battle scene in Dragon Ball Z, but it would be a lot different. Like, let's say they fought a lot more, and they would be doing that, and then Goku would, crank it up to Super Saiyan. He's like, all right, Krillin, let's see if you can keep up with me like that. He said, okay, Goku, show me what you got. And then so they actually have like this intense battle, and basically they're just down and out, just he's like, damn, Krillin, you really improved. He said, it's all thanks to you, Goku. And yeah, that would be how their training, proceeds. And then Goku would use, the little bit of time he has left to go in with Piccolo and Gohan just to, help Gohan get the bases of Super Saiyan, blah, 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 and this, and that. And then Krillin and Goku would have a good little talk before, once he goes, steps out of the room, closes the door. And him and Krillin would fly off and talk. And he's like, all right, guys, I'll see y'all on the other side. So him and Krillin go over somewhere else to go talk. And he's like, all right, man, I taught you pretty much everything I can teach you. So protect the earth and keep the peace, blah, blah, blah. And they just have like this heartwarming, like really smooth reunion where it's just like, damn, this really my nigga and he about to go on some type of shit, right? And Goku's like, well, he puts his, his fist out. It's all up to you now, Krillin, to protect the earth. And Krillin's like, I'll make you proud, Goku. I'll make you proud. And then he puts his fist down. They fist bump one last time before Goku fades away. Moment of peace. R.I.P. Goku. And now we're going to get a few days later. Vegeta comes out. Well, Piccolo and Gohan comes out. Vegeta comes down and so forth and so forth. Earthlings are a little more motivated to train, but it means little. And so now we get to the actual Cell games themselves. And instead of everybody trying to, do this 1v1 and all this shit, everybody comes in with their hands and stuff. The Earthlings kind of get one-shotted early on. And Cell is not interested in Gohan in the slightest. He's more interested in Krillin, since Krillin's the closest he'll get to Goku. But everyone else is still throwing hands. And pretty much it's like a big war almost. And everyone else is getting smacked around maliciously. Krillin's like, damn. He really was trying to see if maybe some of these Super Saiyans could do something. But he's like, all right. So he powers up himself. And it's just like this last final stand. And like Krillin's closed battle damage. And it's a real chaotic scene, all right? So Krillin and Cell begin the final battle. And then they start fighting. Boom, 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 boom. He's able to keep up with Cell for the most part. But Cell's almost like Krillin, just faster, stronger, and everything. So he's throwing out all these moves he's got. He's like explosion. But Cell's able to match, if not greater. So it's just like a real tough situation. He's just, good hands, because inside. Scatter coming off. And he's like, so he just starts fighting Cell, and everyone's actually amazed that Krillin's able to keep up with Cell in this way, because when they tried, it didn't work. And like he's like, I gotta make Goku proud is like one of the things he's constantly saying to himself. And he's just like, I got this. Beep, 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 beep. Good hands, good hands, good hands, good hands. Weave, weave, weave. I'm better than you. Cell's like, I'm perfection. He's like, why would I want to be perfect when I can work hard to be better than I was yesterday? And so he starts like reciting different stuff that Master Roshi taught him, some of the things Goku says, and all sorts of stuff, right? Real nice, real good quality fight. But it's still not enough. Cell basically kind of like kicks Krillin's off, and then Krillin's on the ground, and he's just like, I got 2 trump cards. And basically he starts talking to everyone telepathically. Y'all niggas need to get y'all asses up, because I'm gonna try this. If this doesn't work, I'm gonna need y'all to stall for me to pull out my trump card. And everyone's like, wait, what? He has a move? What? And then he's like, here we go. Kai, y'all can! Times 20! Boom! Launches that Cell. Boom! He starts fighting back, but this time, instead of Cell having the edge, Krillin's able to slightly get the advantage, but he keeps going up. Times 30! Boo, boo, boo! Cell's not able to keep up. Times 40! And during all this, you hear Ka, May, Ha, Bill, 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 Bill. Times 50! Boom! You see like an explosion of ki. Boom! Ha! And then like a mean Kamehameha sends Cell crashing back down into Earth. And then, Krillin, does like a little flippy flip or something, and then just lands. But damn, he felt the effects. It's not too major. It's a little bit less than what Goku did when he did Kaioken 3, like in canon. So he's just down and out, like, whew, whew. Everyone else has gotten their little break. So everybody else gets up. Then Cell's like broken apart. And they're like, yeah, he did it. And then Krillin's like, I don't think so, guys. I can still feel Cell's energy. And then they're like, huh? Cell does what he does in canon, pops back up, and then that was a close call. But whatever that technique he used there was, seems like it had more drawbacks than more cons than pros. I see. No matter. I'll just finish you all off now. Yamcha and Tien help Krillin get back up. So about that other trump card, oh, don't worry. I'm already working on it. They said, all right, bet. We'll hold him off the best we can. And everyone proceeds to hold off Cell to the best of their abilities. And Krillin puts his hands up in the air like he just don't care. Starts charging up the spirit bomb. Everyone's fighting and everyone gets beaten. And then they look over and they're like, we did it. And then Krillin's like, well, it's complete. So what he does is he's actually smart, right? He grabs all the energy and focuses it. And let's just say he grabs the big spirit bomb and he makes it into a tiny condensed one, like he did during the Cell Saga. He's like, Cell, prepare yourself. And he's like I would just sit here and let you hit me with that, please. Vegeta grabs Cell. Basically, Vegeta grabs Cell and is like, this is partially my fault, Earthling. So go ahead and hit him with this move. I'm not nearly. He's like, I'm not gonna let this bastard just keep, doing whatever he wants to do. Plus, if he wasn't distracted fighting me, we might have been able to stop Cell before he even got to the androids. And Cell's looking down at Vegeta. Vegeta, please, do you really think you can? And then before he could even realize it, Krillin, all you hear is Kaioken times 60. He rushes at Cell jumping up above him and then throws it. Cell, take everyone's energy. Take this. This is the power of Earthlings. And then Cell immediately powers up himself and then shoots like a solar Kamehameha at Krillin's spirit bomb. And then Krillin's he starts getting pushed back a little bit. And then he hears a voice. He feels a shoulder. He feels a hand on his shoulder, and Goku's like, Krillin, let's defeat Cell together. He said, thanks, Goku. And while the Spirit Bomb's holding some of the blast off, he charges up a best friend Kamehameha, and all you hear is Ka Me Ha Me. This Cell died. This is the power of all the Earthlings put together. Kamehameha. And then poof, he collides it with the spirit bomb on top of that. And so Cell's like, I will not lose. All of you Earthlings are done for. And he's like, as hell. And so they're fighting. They have the key blast, and then he tells Krillin, protect the Earth. Krillin, release all your power. And then this is where the final clash ends. And then Cell is vaporized, and Krillin hits down on the ground hard as hell. He poof. Oh, everybody pretty much goes up to Krillin. Even Vegeta, he walks up begrudgingly, and he's like, whew. We did it, Goku. We did it. And then everybody's asking, Krillin, who was you talking to? I was talking to Goku, but they're like, but I don't see him. Don't worry about it. And then everybody wishes for all the damage for Cell to be gone and all this stuff. On top of the simple fact is, let's just say they get a new Guardian, and also Krillin wishes for the androids to be, brought back. And we'll just say we'll throw the bomb in, like Android 18 made a comment about, I got a bomb in my chest, don't mess with me, or something to that effect. So that happens. Krillin eventually talks to Android 18. They link up as usual, and they live out, their years in Kami's house. Majin Buu pulls up, but we're going to say it's a little different, all right? Gohan's doing his own thing. Everybody's doing their own thing. And it's kind of like been established that Krillin's the head honcho, like in the sense of, right? He hasn't been really slacking on his training per se. He's just thought like big body with it or whatever, all right? And so we're almost done here, and we can also do a part 2 with Super if y'all people would be interested in this. So anyways, let's get to the Buu saga. Let's say Babidi somehow gets, enough energy, which I'm not going to really stress the details, but let's say he gets enough energy. Majin Buu, let's say he was getting energy from other planets, and then he pulled up on Earth, and then he got the last little piece of energy. Majin Buu come out like, I'm going to eat you up. And so Krillin senses this, and he's like, I see. He looks at Android 18. He's like, all right, 18. I gotta go protect the Earth once more again. I gotta do this for young Goku that fell in battle many years ago, or some type shit, right? And so he's like, before I go though, I do need a mean haircut. This hair getting kind of wild. And Android 18 basically like, all right. And so they cut, and then she's like, and what is it? Maya, I think that's her name. Krillin's daughter is like, you're gonna go save the day again, Papa? And Krillin's like, yeah, yes I am. He tightens up his belt on his gi. He prepares to head out, and Android 18's like, if it's too dangerous or if you're in trouble, promise me you'll leave. Krillin's like, yeah, I promise. He heads out. Boom, gone. And he's the only one that made it onto the scene. Let's just say he was the closest one for the sake of this. So now we got it where Krillin's going against Majin Buu, right? Krillin's putting up some fights, and then, it's a little struggle because Majin Buu pretty strong. Krillin throwing that, as I like to say, quality hand. So you see what I mean? Majin Buu going with his wacky combos. Krillin's able to weave. So Krillin, throws the Kenzenzai. It doesn't work. Buu regenerates. And he's like, damn, this nigga regenerates? This some outlandish shit. So Krillin start doing some shit that makes Buu mad. Buu eats Buu. And then we get Super Buu. Okay? Super Buu's like, I'm about to fuck you. He's like, don't you mean up? No. And then Krillin's like, oh, hell no. So Krillin shoots with blast, realizes it's still not working. So he's like, all right, bro, I gotta hit you with some big body shit. Like, I gotta make sure you don't regenerate at all. I got you. Say less. I'm gonna hit you with the I'm gonna hit you with the shit I hit Young Cell with, right? He cocks those hands back. He's like, damn. He's like, Boo's like, you scared of me? Boo killed you. And he's like, he does like a special version of this move, right? He does a Kamehameha, but he also infuses it with a spirit bomb. He doesn't fully charge or anything like that. He's just about to use everything he's got for this move. And then before he starts, he's like, everyone, lend me your power. And everyone can sense Krillin or whatever. And they're like, all right, we'll lend you some of our power on some type of shit, right? And on top of this, he as he cocks it back, he tells everyone to lend him his power. So it's like he's cocking it back from the very front part. So it's like Piccolo, Gohan, all the friends he met throughout his journey, Tien, Yamcha. And then he's like Vegeta, and then he's like Android 18, even you, Marin. And then by the time he gets to the very back, he's like, Goku, lend me your power. And then once again, he feels that famous hand on the shoulder. Goku's like, no problem, buddy. And then it happens. He charges this up. Kamehameha. And then he like powers this mean Kamehameha up. Something devious, something big body, life ender, not ready for. And then like Boo immediately shoots a ki blast of his own, you know, to make a struggle. That shit don't hurt. All right, so they tied. Krillin's like, oh, we got a problem. He kind of stronger than what I thought. And Goku was like, shit, nigga, word to the south side. Hey, go ahead and hit that young Kaioken one time for the one time, Krillin. Krillin said, shit, say less. So Goku went Super Saiyan, and Krillin hit that Kaioken times 50. And then they said, die. And they was like, ugh. And then boom, Majin Buu's dead. Krillin's like, oh yeah, I still got enough energy for you. He shoots one tiny ki blast at Babidi and says goodbye. Boom. And then the threat is taken care of and everyone can rest peacefully. And then years of peace spread upon everyone. And yeah, Gohan goes off to do some shit, blah, blah, blah. Nothing big body, nothing too important. Now, this is where the video ends. Catch y'all niggas later. See y'all niggas later. So, for whoever's still here, hello. Like and sub if you made it this far. And now, thank all y'all for watching. I will still not catch y'all because for those people that actually stayed those extra few seconds, we will get into the special content, air quote. This is how they did it for the damn game. So I will do it equivalent as is such. So years more, you know, a little more time passes just in case I want me to do a part 2. But years pass and shit, boy. Or I'm not gonna say years just in case of the super battle of gods need to happen. All right, on some type of shit. You hear me? So we're gonna have it to where that something's happening unusual. A city just died, and Krillin's like, damn, word. So him and Android 18 say, we gotta go check that shit out. They pull up, and all you hear is, hey, look, 17. This planet's still full of Earthlings, so we'll have a fun amount of time of killing. Blah blah blah. Yeah, after we killed that purple haired wannabe blonde, this time machine's amazing. Or they don't know it's a time machine per se. And then Krillin and Android 18 pull up and they like, word? Hmm. And then he realized these motherfuckers evil. They not like his Android 18 and 17, so that shit. I'm not letting none of y'all niggas touch my wife. Y'all got me fucked up. And they said, shit, what you gonna do about it, Baldy? He said, oh, hell no. Y'all niggas done fucked up. Android 18 mad too. So they end up duking it out and winning the skirmish and shit. And just to make it nice, Trunks died, but we're gonna say they brought the Dragon Balls, or they went over there for a brief period in time, did a little help these niggas get their shit, reestablished and shit like that, and then they go back to their plan. So now we and then let's say they revived young Trunks and some shit. Maybe they brought back everybody. All right, we don't worry about that. So now we're gonna get into the point where this is the real end. And Android 18's like, damn. So what was that about? I'm not gonna let them touch my wife. Kim was like, and Android 18's like, it made me feel good. It made me feel good to hear you say that. And he's like, oh, okay. And they have like a little good heartfelt moment. Blah blah blah. They's like, yeah, let's get back home to Marin. And Android 18 like, say less. They fly off. And this is now the actual end. Yeah, if you made it to this point, you gotta comment down something devious like, bro. That's it. Catch y'all niggas later.